People are always coming to America. 500 years ago in history, like the year 1500, 1550, 1600, 1650, people were coming to America in large numbers. Now, today, the year 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, people are still coming to America in large numbers. Why? Why is America such a popular destination? Why is it people want to move here and live here permanently, not just come for a vacation or a visit, but they actually want to live here and stay here? Let's find out. We'll go back and we'll look at how it all started way back in the beginning. Okay, Coming to America. Yeah, it was a great film. Seriously, they come here all the time. Lots of people from different places, settling in different places in America for different reasons at different times. Why? What's up? Let's go all the way back. The Native Americans, P.S., they actually prefer to be called Indians. I learned that the hard way. But the Native Americans came here from somewhere else too. They made the long journey from Asia, and since then they've been joined by people from every other part of the world: Africa, Asia, Australia, Europe, South America, coming to North America, every place except for Antarctica because it's all ice. But people are coming here all the time. Let's focus on just some of them. There's too many. We can't talk about all of them, but there's some very specific groups that came here at specific times that made major settlements that led to advancement in North America. Some of the more notable. The year was 1607. The place was called Jamestown. Captain John Smith was the leader, and they took off from England, sailed across the Atlantic, stopped in the islands to get some more food and water, and finally made it to what is now Virginia, and created the town of Jamestown. That was a very important settlement, one of the first major permanent settlements in North America. What were they looking for? Why did they come here? Well, this particular group was looking for economic opportunity. You could make a lot of money if you did things like grow tobacco, and you could sell it. Or you could get animal furs from things like rabbits and fox and beavers and deer and all kinds of animals and sell the fur for clothing or leather. So a lot of people came here looking for economic opportunity. They were poor back home in England. Here in America, they could get a chance to earn some money, get their own house, get themselves established. But they came for other reasons: political freedom. Jamestown and North America in general was a place where you had more opportunity to voice your opinion. You could criticize the government. You could propose different ideas than what the government had. You had the freedom to do that. Back home, you might get shouted down. And finally, political opportunity. So not only could you voice your political ideas, but you might have a chance to get yourself elected to a city council or mayor or some kind of important government job. Back home in England, once again, the chances for that were pretty small. Here in America, you had better chances. So that was the folks at Jamestown. Different group of people called the Pilgrims. You've heard about this. And they settled at a place called Plymouth in the year 1620. Came over on that famous boat called the Mayflower. All right, here's their map from England to what is now part of Massachusetts. They parked. What were they looking for? Religious freedom, mainly. Back home in England, they were not allowed to voice their religious ideas. They were not allowed to organize their own worship, their own church, their own religious services the way they wanted, so they came looking for freedom. 10 years later, a group called the Puritans settled at a place called Massachusetts Bay, not far from where the Pilgrims had been. Here's their map coming across from England to Massachusetts Bay. The Puritans came to America looking for religious freedom. Sound familiar? Puritans, Pilgrims, kind of similar. All right, so this is a little confusing. Puritans, Pilgrims. They both start with the letter P. They both came from England. They both came to America. They both came to areas around the state of Massachusetts. They came in the early 1600s. They both are looking for religious freedom. Sounds very, very similar. How do we keep these two straight? And is there any difference at all between them? So, what is the difference between Puritans and Pilgrims? Okay, first of all, they had a lot in common, as we noted already. And they don't fit the stereotype that you get in the Thanksgiving movies or cartoons or the things that you hear a lot of times. They didn't wear black and gray all the time, right? They had colorful clothing, right? They loved music and dancing. They made their own wine. They brewed their own beer. So these are fun-loving people. These are not the serious people that everyone thinks they are. But why are they coming to America? Well, back in England, there was a pretty strict system. Most people belonged to something called the Anglican Church. There were a few people who weren't part of the Anglican Church. There was a Jewish population, there was a Roman Catholic population, but they were very small minority groups. Most people, let's say 80 to 90%, were part of the Anglican Church. The Puritans and the Pilgrims were Anglicans. They were part of that big church, but they criticized it. They found problems with the church in England. They said, hey, you're not doing what a church is supposed to do. Churches generally do things like help the poor, promote education for all children, provide counseling and support for people going through emotional difficulties. That's what churches generally do. But they said the Anglican Church was failing to do some of the things that a church normally does. So they were criticizing the church, both the Puritans and the Pilgrims. Here's where we get to the difference. The Pilgrims broke away. They said, we're tired of this Anglican Church. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. We're going to go start our own church and do something different. The Puritans, on the other hand, stayed inside the church. They stayed members of the church, and they said, we would like to improve it. So they kept working to try to make things better. The Puritans did. They wanted the Anglican Church to become a better church, whereas the Pilgrims just gave up on it and walked away. Problem is, both groups were not well treated, okay? So both groups finally had enough of it, and they left England altogether and came to America for religious freedom. Okay, so we have the Puritans and the Pilgrims came to America for religious freedom. We have the people at Jamestown. They came mainly for economic opportunities. They wanted to earn some money and have a little political freedom as well. And that's really cool, but that's like, do a little math, 400 years ago. What does that have to do with us today? What does that have to do with the state of the world today? And is it related to the way people are still coming to America? All right, little terminology. Immigration is when you move to a new place. Not just a trip, not just a visit, but when you move into a new country, a new nation to make that your new home. To emigrate is to leave a country and say, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to have a new country. So you always are doing one when you do the other. If you're immigrating into one country, it means you're emigrating out of another country. America is the most popular destination. It was back then, it is still now. People come to America in large numbers every year, even during pandemics, even when there's wars, even when the economy is not doing well. People keep coming to America, more so than they go to other countries like England or Spain or Italy or Russia or Australia or New Zealand or Japan or China. America is the most popular destination. Why? Why was it popular 400 years ago? Why is it popular now? What's the deal? What's the attraction? Well, we can see from the folks at Jamestown and the Pilgrims and the Puritans, we see the basic ideas. Economic opportunity. America continues to be a place where people have a chance to move up the ladder. If they're very poor in some other country, if they come here, they work hard, they can get jobs, they can raise their standards of living. So economic opportunity. What else? Religious freedom. People want to be able to practice their religion. Name your favorite religion: Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, anything else. You get to do it here in America. Many other countries will not let you pick your religion. They will pick your religion for you. Political freedom. In America, you can voice your ideas, your opinions. You can say you love the president. You can say you hate the president. You can suggest other policies. You can even run for office yourself. So you have political freedom, and you have the opportunity to actually be part of the political process. Who knows? You could run for city council or county commissioner or state legislature, anything like that one day. So 4 things people come to America for: religious freedom, economic opportunity, political freedom, and political engagement. All right, let's think about this. Look around you. There's a lot of people right here in your high school, in your town, that came from other countries. Why did they come? Have a conversation with them. Ask them. They're probably happy to talk about it. But people are coming to the United States from other countries. They're finding things here they couldn't get anywhere else. They want to come here. What are they leaving behind? What was it that made them unsatisfied or unhappy, or just made it not really possible for them to even stay in the country they came from? So 2 words: immigration, emigration, and a pattern throughout history: people coming to America from other parts of the world. That's all for now. See you later. Bye-bye.